Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 17 of What If Naruto Awakened the Yellow Rinnegan after his exile. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this stuff with your friends in social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto had a dream that will change everything over an Anime King 2, and enjoy that guys. And stay in tune for What If Naruto was given abilities by 4 devils later on over an Anime King. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, the place was crowded, as 2,000 strong was making their way towards Usa to destroy the place. The 2 captains of the overall forces that control Kumo, and the other one that control the Hidden Stone forces, were well past the age of ninja to survive, as both men were in their 50s. They had been there when the village had went up against Usa, and when the Uzumakis had fallen. So now they were here to watch them fall once again. The both of them saw when Naruto arrived, as he spoke to them, looking at the people as they didn't even realize what they were here for. Did they even know that they were up against him? Most of them really believed that him pulling a meteor from the sky was hoax and it was fake. So Naruto decided to show them. Well, not by pulling a meteor from the sky, but by annihilating them all himself. As Konan watched, it was a massacre, as Naruto summoned so much creatures as they wreaked havoc, using a bastardized version of the Bicho bomb, which he flooded his own chakra into, making it unstable. Naruto blasted into the crowd. The numbers keep getting lower and lower and lower, until only a handful remain that were helpless to do anything. He already told them that if they stay here they would die. As Naruto wastes no time as he snapped necks and removed hearts, using every aspect of the Rinnegan. As he wiped out each and every one of them, it was a cold-blooded slaughter. After that was finally over, Naruto made his way off with 2 headbands. Konan flew after him, but he was so just damn god fast. As he tried to make her way, but Naruto was already in Kumo by the time it took her to catch up with him. Arriving there, as the entire place trembled, as Naruto released his power in mid-air, the Raikage came to show himself. Naruto tossed a headband towards the man and told him that all of them are dead. And now that he wanted to start this, it could not be stopped. He didn't come here to kill him, he just came here to put the fear of God into his heart. Let him know that he will be coming back, and he will be wiping every single one of them out, all of them that stand in his path. And he will make sure that he's the last one remaining so he can watch as he destroy everything precious that belonged to him. The Raikage tried to attack, but an unseen force smashed into him. Making his way out of the village, Naruto was stopped by Konan as she tried to calm him down, which he was. But she felt something hit her, as it was a serpent from his back that reversed her chakra coils, making her pass out. As Naruto sent a clone to send her back towards the village. As he made his way towards the Hidden Stone, he did the same thing there, but instead he exploded on his office after the man continued to talk like he had control of the situation, as Naruto made his way back home after that. Meanwhile, that was going on, as the sealing process was still going on. It would take a longer time given that it was just a few of them remaining, as Nagato did not know that at the moment the masked man was setting up mayhem to happen in his village. When Naruto finally made his way there, Konan was angry, as she was cursing at him, as he asked her why did she care so much. Because of her spike of emotions, she told him that she cared about him. As the both of them paused, before they started to make out with each other like crazy. So yeah guys, it was basically that's what I thought you guys can switch across and please check out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? We begin this episode at Kiri. At the moment, Meiterume was currently holding on to a letter. As she read through it, she was surprised. They must really be desperate, she thought. Knowing the situation that Kiri is in, she looked behind her. Kiri was just a fraction of its former self. Some of the ninjas had survived the attack. Yes, some of the loyalists has even survived. Their anger was pushed towards someone else. The rage for the one that destroyed their village. Mei was able to get them to work under one banner, promising them revenge on that boy. Not to mention she had the remaining rebellion forces. As she was currently looking at it later, for them to call her into this. This must be desperate. But it had one word written on it that made her intrigued. Akatsuki. As she looked back at the dissembled village that was still trying to be brought back to something resembled of the former glory that Kira was. As she clenched her fists, she hoped it was about that boy. No matter what happened, she wants him dead. After everything she fought, she sweat, she watched comrades die for. He just came here and annihilated everything. Put in all of that years of preparation, years of hard work and nothing. By leaving nothing behind for her to rule, for her to bring back together and reconnect everything. He destroyed it all. She hoped this meeting was about him. She will be attending. Meanwhile, Gar was currently in his office. As Temari was standing there beside him. As she looked over his shoulder, reading the letter as well. I'm guessing this is about Naruto, she said. Yes, said Gar. It has been a single day since the event happened. The one-sided massacre of the bloody shores. Seeing that Naruto was fighting in the shores of the island. The place was known as the Bloody Shores, where 2,000 ninjas were slain by one man. As Gaara looked at the note, it was a meeting for all the 5 Kages. As he remembered what Naruto told him, Temari looked at him. She seemed to put that in place as well. You remember when he told you to choose? This is probably the time he was talking about, said Temari. Gar could only nod, as that was true. Naruto did told that he will get a chance, so we have to choose between his village and the others. Gar will attend the meeting to hear what was going on. But it seems that there was a choice in this. A big one nevertheless. At the moment, Sakura was currently with Tsunade. The both of them were sitting on the couch. So, you will be attending Lady Kage? Asked Sakura. Tsunade nodded. I have to. Given that he is formerly from this village, they will easily try to assume that we're with him. As Tsunade, face showed no emotion when she said that. Sakura knew why. As much as Tsunade and the others, as much as they try to vouch for Naruto, as much as they try to say that he is not that evil, that he doesn't deserve all of this problem that is turned against him, but he doesn't stop. He destroyed Take, allies of Konoha. They were too afraid to go against him. The members of the council have been rather silent lately, especially the 2 elders. And Danzo has been silent at every other meeting. Tsunade didn't know why, but she could feel like the man was worrying about something. Yes, as she wondered, does he have a cause in all of this? She clenched her fist to remember that he was the one who actually went to the daimyo for Naruto to get exiled. But the people hadn't went up against Naruto, yes, they had not. Even after he destroyed Take. As the elders were afraid that he would come here and drop a meteor on Konoha as well. The civilians were scared out of their minds shitless. Many of them thinking about the possibility to leave Konoha, to go live out in the Fire Nations, praying that his boy would never come here. Seeing that Konoha saw it, they saw when the meteor was coming from the sky. Unlike other folks, they knew it was a reality. One person in particular was the Fire Daimyo. She had never seen him worried like that before. Ever since becoming Hokage, the man had always seemed noble and calm. But now the man was scared shitless. She had spoken to him by videocom. Every day, the new ninja world was getting more civilized, as technology was bringing forth a new base of operations for them to speak quickly, as he was gathered with her and 2 elders. They were not making a move against Naruto for Take, as the man was especially afraid, thinking that Naruto would come and drop a boulder on the Fire Nation, knowing that he was the one that banished the war in the first place. If he knew that he would become this powerful, he would have never done that. As you remember, that it nearly started a heated argument between him and Danzo. Flashback. They were all gathered, Tsunade, along with Danzo, Homura, and Koharu, as the daimyo was currently on the monitor in front of them. They have been talking for at least 20 minutes now, when Danzo posed the question, "So, are we gonna allow him to get away with what he's done to Take?" All of them turned their attention towards him, especially Daimyo with a calculating gaze. "And what do you have the Hokage do?" Daimyo asks. "We must not be afraid of this boy. We cannot let him push us into submission," Danzo said. "It seems you have not seen what have occurred so far. He literally pulled a meteor from the sky, killing thousands in the process. What if he came to the Fire Nation and Konoha did that? How many will die? Still, that is not just cause to bow down to him. Then what do you have us do?" The Fire Daimyo said as he looked towards Danzo. "We must find him and eradicate him." The Daimyo looked at Danzo like he was a madman. "I don't know what you're thinking at the moment, but I'm with the Hokage on this. There will be no action taken towards that boy. At the moment, he's not inclined to attack Konoha, even after what happened in the past. The actions were justified," said Danzo. The daimyo glanced towards him as he was about to say something, but he shut his mouth, as he had to keep his temper calm for a dinter. In fact, hearing about the boy releasing the Kaibi's chakra and attacking the Uchiha, the daimyo was not offended by that at first. The Uchiha had become a rogue to leave the village, and he was just doing this job, but Danzo had twisted his words. He spoke to him and tried to twist his mind, and it eventually worked. Now he looked at the situation fully. He realized they banished a powerful weapon. Yes, you could call it that. The boy was a weapon. He had the 9 tail inside of him, and they banished him, leaving him out in the cold. And now he has come back with more power than they could even fathom. Tsunade saw the thick tension in the air. Let's go on to discuss the financial properties of Minato Namikaze, shall we? That was another thing Daimyo thought about. He was a son of Minato, a man that Daimyo had come to respect and cherish for his great help in stopping the 9 tails. And the man was always polite, even more so than Sarutobi. And he was wise and cunning for his age. And he threw the man's son out like he was garbage. This was bad, Daimyo thought to himself. End of flashback. Late Tsunade, do you think this will cause a war for other villages to go against Naruto? Said Sakura, dreading that idea. I really don't know, Sakura, said Tsunade. She really had no idea. Meanwhile, at Ozu, Karin was wondering what was going on. She went by Naruto's place, only for the guard to turn her away, saying that at the moment their leader was busy, as she has never been turned away like that before. Was he working on something important that he didn't want anyone else to see yet? Well, she supposed she could handle anything that she came to him for, so it wasn't a big deal, but she was just concerned, and also worried about him, as news had came to what happened there. With the 2,000 members, the people of Ozu love magnified. The love just magnified knowing that their fearless leader had went through thick and thin to save them all, as the members of Ozu were always ready. Things were getting faster done now, knowing that their leader had to go up against an army because they weren't ready. Armors were being established, not to mention the perfect armor for their leader, as it was currently in the works. At the moment, 10 Uzumakis were working on the ceiling, Funjutsu inside of it, and the armor itself, a beautiful shade of crimson. Karin looked towards the manor. She hoped whatever was going on, he was alright. Well, the guard said that he was fine, but she just hoped. At the moment, inside of the leader's manor, clothes were everywhere. It seems that the both of them went at it a bit too crazy and wild. Furniture was moved, as Akatsuki robes, red clothing were all over the place, leading straight towards the bedroom. we find Konan, her eyes open wide. She was awake. As Naruto was still sleeping, she thought. As she recalled the events of what happened yesterday, she still couldn't believe it. That wild, angry passion turned to another passion. A passion of love-making. She thought in her state it was going to be bad, but it was the most wonderful feeling she has ever felt in a long, long while. As she couldn't keep the smile off her face, despite wanting to be calm at the moment. At the moment he was still asleep, so she didn't know his thoughts upon this. The sexual tension between them has been rising lately, and last night everything was just confirmed. That argument leading to this. At the moment she didn't know what to do now. Should she leave? Should they act like this never happened? What should she do? What was she gonna tell Nagato? As that thought came to her head, she always tell him everything. Should she tell him about this as well? It was like her and Nagato was in a romantic relationship. The both of them were best friends. So should she even tell him about this, she wondered. That brought another thought to her mind as well. What about Karen? He had never admitted anything because she never asked him. But she saw it many times. The way the girl looked at him. When she talked, that look in her eyes. Karen definitely had feelings for him. And Konan didn't know if Naruto had feelings for her as well. Or perhaps he was just too nice. He's nice with everyone, but she really didn't know. You know, if you keep on racking your brain like that this early in the morning, something's gonna pop, said Naruto. As that made her breath caught in her throat. He was awake. She still didn't move or budge an inch, as she pretended to be asleep, closing her eyes. She then heard laughter, as she didn't open her eyes. In fact, she didn't really know what to do. Should she say something to him? What should she say? It made her feel really awkward, and him not saying anything made it worse. She had no doubt he was doing this to tease her. He was probably just looking at her right now, not saying a single word, just on purpose to mess with her head, as she could feel his eyes despite not seeing them roaming her body. The sheet was over her, so he couldn't see anything too explicit, but she was certain that she wasn't wearing a single thing under this, as the both of them had ended up falling asleep right after, and she was too nervous in the morning to do anything. Here she was, Konan. Before meeting him, she never really showed emotions, always keeping that stern look on her face, and now she was worried and nervous for sleeping in the same bed as the guy after they did it together last night. Why the hell was she being so nervous? She jumped slightly as she felt the sheet being lifted off her. As she cracked her eyes open, only to see Naruto looking down. He wasn't looking at her, he was looking under the sheet. I couldn't get a good view last night, but damn, said Naruto. I mean, was this what you were hiding under that cloak all the time? She quickly slapped away his hand, allowing the sheet to fall back down, as Naruto turned back with a smile on his face. So, that was unexpected, he said. You're telling me, she said. She turned towards him. Why are you smiling, she asked. Because unexpected was wonderful, he said. As he turned his head and looked back up at the ceiling, she couldn't help as her cheeks turned red a bit. Always so damn flattering, she thought. I just want to ask, you are not still mad at me, right? Huh? Well, for what I did, said Naruto. Well, I'm still a bit pissed off that you left me behind. And yeah, you knocked me out, she said. I already apologized for that several times. And last night you seemed to forgive me. What, she said. Well, the way you were holding on to me. And screamed out, I think I brought you enough pleasure for you not to be angry anymore. She lightly punched him in the arm. What, said Naruto. I mean, am I wrong, he said. She didn't deny that, as she just lied there with him. So what now, she asked, as she was at a loss herself. I don't know, said Naruto. What do you think? Look, let me talk and don't interrupt me, she said. Naruto nodded. For the longest time, I've been seeing glances of Yaiko when I look at you. You two are the same, in almost all regards. Your kindness, your leadership skills, everything about the both of you just produce a power of authority, something that people want to follow and let guide them. But recently I've stopped seeing Yaiko when I look at you. I've only been seeing you. Yaiko was the first person I ever loved. I know this must sound rushed to you or something, but I don't exactly know what that means. These thoughts have been confusing me lately. For someone like me, who always has the answer, always calm under pressure, I am nothing like that around you. So, I don't know what to think myself. So, I really don't know what to do. Well, we don't have to rush to Naruto. It's not like time is against us. Yeah, don't bother telling me, I know the saying, ninjas don't live very long. But, I assure you, that will not fall on both of us as well. Naruto says he looked at her, so we don't have to move fast or rush anything. We can just take, step by step. Kona released a long sigh. A happy sigh as she looked towards him, as she nodded, as Naruto moved forward and captured her lips. And there was again that sweet, blissful kiss from him that made her stomach, everything about her just warm, as she kissed him back. Time skip. The sealing process is finally over, as the body of the 8 Tails dropped to the ground in a thud. Kisame cracked his neck. So, that's it, huh? Now we just have to get the piece of 9 Tails. Pain narrowed his eyes towards Toby. I've told him, don't worry, he said. As Pain simply nodded. Kisame has been one of my trusted followers for a long time now, said Toby as he glanced towards Kisame, who looked pleased by that. Where is this so-called worker of yours? Hasn't he done what he's supposed to do? He is still working on what I have planned. It's hard, and it takes some time, so he just need a bit more. Poof! Suddenly, the Gedo statue was gone, as both Toby and Kisame fell off. Both Kisame and Toby fall to their feet as Pain was in his hologram form as he stood there. What's going on? What have you done? Asked Madara as he turned towards Pain. I didn't do this. You did not summon it? No. I'm currently in contact with you. I didn't move a single muscle. Then, if it's not you, it is no. Why would Naruto do something like this? Well, that kid is surely a wild card, said Kisame. Who knows? You should probably go and talk to him. Bring it back, said Toby. Pain went through hand sign as he slammed his hand down, but nothing happened. He was confused. I can't. As he went through hand sign once again and slammed his hand down. I can't. How is that possible? You've been in tune with the statue longer than him. How? Is he blocking your signal? Were you telling the truth? Said Madara, his voice sounding on edge. I'm not lying. I don't know what reason why Naruto might summon the statue, but I intend to find out immediately. With that, he cut his link, as Madara grumbled to himself. It seems that the Akatsuki is falling apart, said Kisame. Kisame, are you with me? Said Madara. Well, you are the true leader, Kisame said. So lead on, he told him, as Madara walked off along with Kisame as well. Meanwhile, as Pain came to, he felt someone coming. As it was Konan. Konan, what happened? I assume that you did it already. You knew about this? What's going on? Said Nagato as he looked towards Konan. Me and Naruto have talked. We no longer need Madara for what he has planned. We can do this on our own. And you didn't tell me about this. Instead, you gone and did it by yourself, the both of you. You would not listen. You will say that you have it perfectly under control, which we both know that you don't. I do have it under control. Then why is Madara still alive? She said. He has lived for long enough, changing and twisting the Akatsuki in his own ideals, which we never wanted, which Yaiko never wanted before. Pain looked at her. It was the first he was getting an outburst like this from her. This is because of Naruto. What has he been filling your head with? This is not because of him. This is what I've realized. Do you love him? Said Nagato. That caught her by surprise. What? I said, do you love him? Why would you ask me something like that? I've noticed your behavior recently. When we first started this, you never left my side. You always follow all my commands. You always talk to the people as your angel for me. But now you're up and down, always leaving, just to go and visit him. So answer me. Do you love him? She couldn't answer. As Pain lowered his head. Where is he? Nagato, please calm down. You guys don't have to fight or do anything stupid about this. You just have to listen to what he has to say. He makes a valid point. Where is he? Said Nagato. And what has he done to the statue? Konan lowered her head. He took it. I don't know where it is myself, but he has it. I know that much. Where exactly is he? Konan lowered her head as she heard footsteps coming. It was Tendo making his way along the other paths. What are you doing? She says he stepped in front of the paths. Move, said Tendo to her. Please, calm down. You don't have to do anything like this. You can sort this all out. Konan, move, he said. Konan stepped aside. As she stepped towards Nagato as the path made their way. So now what then, she said. Are you going to fight him? Are you going to force him to give you the statue back? If he listens to me, it can all be avoided. But you know he won't. Because he has something to say as well. And you need to listen to him. Why should I? He went against my plans without talking to me first. Why should I listen to him anymore? Because he's your family. He's not my family, said Nagato. Both of you are Uzumakis. You need to stop this nonsense. He just wanted to talk. But he knew that he would never listen by normal means. So he had to take it. How is he stopping me from summoning the statue? I don't know, she said. You're lying to me. No, I'm not, she said. You're lying, he shouted at her. I promise I'm not. I just don't know, she said. Nagato released her breath. It doesn't matter now, he said. As he was gone, now poof. As the animal path had summoned him. After all, he couldn't stray too far away from his paths. As Konan turned her head, she knew that this was going to be bad. She knew. Once Naruto came up with that idea. Flashback. What? Said Konan, as she looked at Naruto. Are you insane? You know he won't stand for that at all. Despite how calm Nagato has been since the past few years, he would think that you're trying to overthrow him, to prove that you're better. You can't just do that. You and I both know that he's been brainwashed somehow by Madara. It doesn't matter what happens, he's not going to take him out. And that's going to lead to his downfall. Madara has been planning his own secret organization with Sasuke, as he had took the Uchiha under his wing. If I hadn't snapped his arms and legs. What? Said Konan. Yes, I found him. I didn't kill him though. And he's been working for the masked man. He's planning to screw us all over. Because he's not telling the whole truth. I haven't told you something, but when I was at Take, I felt something strange. What? She said. That tree in the center of the village. I don't know what it was a part of, but it was a part of something big. Something that connects the tail beasts, all 9 of them. I felt each and every one of their powers circulating through it. And it was some kind of monster created. Something deadly. I saw oceans being split, towns being burned, people being destroyed, chaos, destruction. I don't know what it is myself, but I feel like this person, whoever he is, because I don't believe that's Madara, is tricking and naive in Nagato. He's not going to stop until he understands that what he's doing is wrong. And we need to let him understand. But what if... As Naruto stepped forward and placed a hand on her cheek, making her look at him. Konan, I already made you a promise. I won't let this go towards a point where we have to fight each other. You and I will never come to exchange blows. Please, just believe in me, he said. Konan released a long sigh as she prayed that Naruto was doing the right thing. End the flashback. Wings extended from her back. This was bad. She shouldn't even leave the hidden ring unguarded. As she created 3 paper clones to leave behind, as she headed off, she had to make sure the both of them didn't do anything crazy. Time skip. As Naruto was standing on the shores, waiting. It took a while. As Nagato finally arrived. His paths, that is. Tendo was the first one to land, and the other paths landed behind him as well. Naruto, where is it? He said. No greetings, huh? Nothing like that. Naruto says he was sitting down. I'm not here to talk. We are so close to our dream. No, you're not, said Naruto. You still don't have the power of 9 tails yet. That is not a problem. Madara will nothing, said Naruto. I, and Konan, even you have seen it. That man is using you. That man wants something else. Do you really think he would just agree to your plans like that without getting something in return? And the thing about it is he has the greatest hand here because you don't know what he wants. But he wants something. That doesn't matter at the moment. Once I gain the power of 9 tails, everything will be ready. No, it won't be. You'll be summoning something far more dangerous than Naruto. And I don't believe you can control it. Huh? And what is that? I have been having visions. Tendo scoffed. Visions? Of what? A beast. Something made up of all the Biju's chakra. And I believe that man know what it is. So at the moment I'm telling you to not trust him. Your friend Konan, who has been by your side since ever, see my point. No, she hasn't. She's only going along with this because she's fallen in love with you, which you have used to take advantage of her. How can you even say that, said Naruto? Well, it looks like you're controlling her every movements nowadays. Look, I know she was your friend. I know that she was always by your side. But I'm not controlling her. I'm not using her. If anything, you are the one that has been using her. What? Konan and I are working for the same goal. Are you? Have you ever even stopped once in your life to ask her what she wanted? Nagato did not say anything. Have you ever even asked her what she wanted? Have you ever allowed her freedom? Did you know she never enjoyed herself before? What? Said Nagato. All you've two been doing is running in the rain and running the Akatsuki. That much don't leave a open life. Is it all they're going to be doing? If you create a weapon and you destroy a portion of the world, war is going to start all over again to get that weapon from you. And then you'll have to do the same thing over again. And those that fall in the dust are going to rise up again to attack you again. It doesn't matter how long it will take. And it's not like you're immortal. What happened when you die? You never came to that conclusion, huh? It's not like you have an ear to keep on carrying on with their goals. And even if you do, you don't even know if they were born with a Rinnegan. People like us with powers that belong to gods are the only ones that can wield weapons like these without fearing to be killed the next day by some random ninjas. So do you really think I'm the one that has been using Konan here when you think about things like this? Because if the both of you create this weapon that I highly doubt will happen after you bring all that power together, the both of you will have to work even harder to maintain the stability and the peace, which no one asks for. This world is greedy and disgusting. It will always stay that way no matter what. They will always find a way to bring back that in the world. You can see, these people brought 2,000 ninjas to wipe out those monkeys. I didn't even target the Stone or Kumo. I didn't go after them, but they still tried to destroy those monkeys. In the past, they slaughtered kids, children. That is why I have no remorse when it comes to anyone that attacked the village. But I need you to understand now, said Naruto, as he stepped forward. This man is playing you. He's just using you, whatever purpose he wants. I assure you it's not for your well-being. You know, he's right, said a voice. As suddenly, the masked man appeared in a swirling vortex as he stood there on the island. As Naruto turned towards the man to face him, and so did Nagato. Madara, what are you doing here? As Naruto scoffed at that. Well, I see I no longer to play a charade, Uzumaki Naruto. Yeah, you don't, said Naruto as he turned towards the man fully. So, are you here to show your real face? Or what? Not at the moment. But I am here for something though. And that is his eyes. As the masked man pointed towards Nagato. Huh. And why do you think he would give you those? Well, he waved his hand and a swirling vortex appeared to reveal Konan inside as she was bound with a seal on her. As Naruto and Nagato's eyes went wide, Tendo did. Well, Nagato would see everything through it, so his eyes went wide as well. Naruto stepped forward. Said Madara. Kisame was inside with Samehata right at her head. Konan, eyes were wide as she looked at the both of them. She couldn't believe it. She was caught completely off guard. She left herself wide open while traveling. She was thinking too much about the events that were going to happen. She was just speeding as she fall right into a trap. Explosive blinder visions. When she flew back, she found herself being whisked away. And then, a seal was slapped on her, and now she was here. Now, if you don't want her to die, I suggest you hand them over. As I can see, the both of you have deep connection with her. You being in love with her, and you seen her as someone that is so strong in your life. Someone that can twist decisions. He said, looking towards Nagato. I never knew that she would fall for you, or that you would fall for her. Well, I've seen signs, the both of you hanging out more than usual. I've been keeping watch on the both of you. As he smirked. Now what's it gonna be, Nagato? Are you gonna force me to make you make a choice? Like the last time? Well, it wasn't me per se, but it does seem familiar, doesn't it? Nagato's eyes went wide as he saw Konan there, and Yaiko right in front of him, taking the place of Naruto, as he remembered with Hanzo. But at the moment, what could he do? If he took her away, they would never get her back again. He could keep her, rather than killing her, for him to use his technique to bring her back, even if it might cost him his life no matter what. He couldn't allow Konan to be taken away from him like this. I knew that you would be the problem. The moment you joined the Akatsuki with those eyes, I knew you would be a problem in all of this. But I just wonder, how would you be a problem? But at the moment it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna ask you again, which do you prefer? Never seen her again. Because it's not like I'm gonna make it easy on her. She will be tortured, non-stop, just to make you feel pain for what you did by abandoning her. And you, said Madara, looking at Naruto, who was quite silent in all of this. Are you gonna really make the one you love go through all I've planned? Konan was mumbling something, but because of her mouth being gagged, they couldn't hear it. Madara waved his hand as Kisame removed the gag. Don't do it, either of you, she said, as Madara seemed to smile under his mask. I wanted the both of you to hear her voice, to make sure you understand that what I oppose is real. Now, I'm gonna count to 5, and if you don't hand what I seek over, I'll be gone. Until a later date when you come to make negotiations again. But by then, who knows? She might already been broken. Can you really let your friend, your best friend you have known your entire life, go through all of that? Nagato started to reflect as he thought about Konan and everything they went through in the past. Its paths were wide open as they weren't attacking, they were just standing there. As he was looking through Tendo's eyes, he knew that Naruto could protect her. If he gave her his eyes, he didn't have to. Naruto raised his hand. Now do you understand, Nagato, said Naruto. I never thought that this would happen, him putting Konan in risk. But I hope now you understand what he's playing at here, said Naruto before going through a set of hand signs. As he slammed his hand in his chest, there was a sealed array as he pulled back his shirt. Suddenly, Konan got enveloped in a bright light as he was pulled away and appeared right at Naruto's feet. The masked man blinked. What the hell? Fuinjutsu, a wonderful thing. You see, I know you're intangible, said Naruto as he reached on and removed Konan's binds. As he removed the ceiling tag, Kisame hopped out of swirling vortex as he stood there. This was probably going to be his final ride, but he will enjoy it every bit. I knew that your ability was quite complex, being able to phase yourself away like that. But after talking to Konan, I realized they were just using a pocket dimension, seeing that you could literally just step into one and exit it. Said Naruto with a smirk. So you send your body there, but it doesn't matter. Fuinjutsu masters can blot that effect out, said Naruto as he looked towards Uzu. The masked man turned his head as he saw the spiritual barrier on it. You can't get in there, said Naruto with a smirk. I know you just played your hand for Nagato to see the monster that you truly are. Now do you see, Nagato, said Naruto. This man doesn't want anything to do with peace. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you really want? Well, I suppose this will come out anyway, because at the moment there's a meeting going on between the 5 Kages, which I never planned to interrupt, but I guess I have to do it now. I'm gonna need much more to defeat you too. To think that we were once their enemies, but now I'll have to be their friend. Oh, important gift, he said, as he quickly created a swirling vortex that lead towards the Rinnegan. For your betrayal and turn against me. You mean because he didn't hand over his eyes, said Naruto, as Konan quickly created paper shurikens. He simply scoffed. What do you think those will do? Kisame, it's not time yet, he said, as he held out his hand, stopping Kisame. Zetsu then came from the ground. You too, Zetsu, said Nagato, speaking from Yaiko for the longest while. Well, he's the real boss. Send the signal. Zetsu pulsed his chakra suddenly. The entire Rinnegan started to explode. Konan's eyes went wide. What are you doing? She screamed. Pardon, he said, as Naruto shot forward, but he sucked himself away in a swirling vortex, along with Kisame, and Zetsu went underground. Naruto turned towards Konan and the seal on her shoulder were still activated. She smiled. She didn't see the reason for putting this on, but now she saw it. As she was glad that she did, she let herself get caught and nearly let the same situation happen. Naruto, I'm sorry. This is no time for self-pity, said Naruto. Go back to the Rinnegan immediately and try to salvage as much as you can and save the people. Knowing that you're ready, he wouldn't dare to attack you now. What are you gonna do, said Konan. He gave himself away by saying what he was gonna do. And I have to stop it before those idiots agree with him, said Naruto. And with that he took off. As Konan looked towards Nagato, she made her way towards him. I'm sorry, she said. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not believing in you and Naruto. Can you ever forgive me? He asked. I hold nothing against you, she said. Cheer up. Remember, you're my best friend. I will never hold it against you. Thank you, he said. Come on, let's go. With that, the both of them made their way towards the Rinnegan that was in chaos right now. Meanwhile, the land of iron, Madara, Kisame, and Sasuke showed up, along with Jugo and Suigetsu. What now, said Sasuke. Well, we have to do a bit of convincing. Do you really think they will go along with this? Said Kisame, after what we've done. Well, there's a bigger threat now, and I intend to use them. Not to mention, we have to get rid of one person first, and I'm sure the other nations would be ecstatic by this. Sasuke, I believe this project belongs to you. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. It's simple, really. We killed the Hokage, and we blame everything on Naruto Uzumaki. The other Kages will come to understand. After all, Konoha is still the powerful nation. Despite their petty alliance, they all still hold grief against it. And I have another reason to shade this premise, to make everything fall in line. So I'll leave that up to you, Sasuke. Sasuke looked towards him. Did she know? Of course she did. Do you think she wouldn't, being the third Hokage successor? He was directly involved, so she must have known. But she chose to keep that away from everyone. So she's as much a problem as everyone else. Fine, Sasuke said. Let's go. Meanwhile, inside, the group was currently talking. They had been here for a few hours now as they arrived yesterday. They couldn't come to an agreement, and the reason for that was there was a lot of tension going around, as Gaara and Tsunade were clearly on one side, the Raikage and Tishikage on one side, while Mei Terumi was off to the other side, as she wasn't picking anything in this. And you two were the one that started this all up again by attacking, said Tsunade. Despite him being from your village, he is still an Akatsuki member, and he needs to be taken down. But now you call a Kage's meeting because you're afraid. The Raikage eyebrow twitched at that. Afraid? Of a mere boy? He said. Then why did you call all of us for help? Because the Akatsuki has attacked all of us, and we will no longer stand for it. The Akatsuki has never attacked the Hidden Leaf, said Tsunade. Well, not counting Asuma and his group. Just because they didn't steal your Jinchuriki and he willingly went with them, doesn't mean that he didn't attack your village. Seeing that your village was the main cause of all of this, you had previous members in the Akatsuki before. Rumors that Orochimaru Sannin was one, and Itachi Uchiha was one as well. So that incriminates Konoha. What are you trying to say? Konoha is with the Akatsuki, said Tsunade. The Raikage was about to say something until Mifune spoke. We did not come here to argue with each other. We came here to find a way to stop the Akatsuki threat. They have already proven immensely strong, especially this Naruto Uzumaki. So arguing amongst ourselves would not help at all. The bodyguards up ahead were watching as well as they were looking down. The Raikage released a sigh as Ishaq spoke. He's right. We should not be arguing at a time like this. We should be coming together and end this threat once and for all. The man said, but on the inside he was scared. That was the reason why he was being a peacemaker. As they all looked at him, even Stanley was surprised at that. Seeing what this boy did to Kieran and Taki, yes, that terrified him. As he saw that blast up and close personally. His entire office was leveled within seconds. The boy didn't flick a finger or anything, he just did it like that. Something like that troubled the old Kage as he looked around the room. We need to find a way to put a stop to this menace once and for all. Well, I might be able to help with that's the voice. Everyone quickly got on guard when a swirling vortex appeared. As Madara stepped out of the swirling vortex, beside him, Sasuke, and the other side, Kisame. Who the hell are you, said the Raikage. As he looked at the cloak, Akatsuki! He leaped forward, only for Sasuke and Kisame to move as he break the wall, passing through Madara. Raikage. Seems your temper is dead on. Now, can you please calm down so we can have a civilized, the man fist swing right through his head conversation. The Raikage spin around as the masked man looked at him. I just came here to talk. I am not your enemy. What? Say it's Navi after all you people have done. I assure you I'm not. I wear this cloak, but it's time for a change. The Akatsuki has switched and turned to ways I never imagined. One of those ways having to do with the plague that we're currently having at the moment, which all of you have suffered as well. And that is none other than Uzumaki Naruto himself. A boy who once grew up in the Hidden Leaf as a normal boy, but now is shaking the elemental nations. Well, you shouldn't be too surprised given his heritage. And what might that be? Said Onki. Well, his father is the person that annihilate thousands of Hidden Stone ninjas. What? Said Onki. And he's said to be the said man that matched Raikage's speed here. Wait, are you saying that boy's father is Minato Namikaze? Yes, indeed. Didn't the Hokage tell you about this? The group turned towards her. That information was not important. What do you mean not important, said the Raikage? Of course it was. And what would it have changed, asked Navi. All of the guards had came down, as Kakashi and Guy was standing beside Navi. Ayo and Kojiro was beside me. Akisaki and Kurosaki was beside the Tishikaki. Darui and C was beside the Raikage, and Gar was the earliest siblings. I came here to be a part of the alliance, said the masked man. What? Said Gar. You think that we will let you join us? Well, my help will be beneficial. I have many of pawns that can help in this battle. And trust me, you're gonna need as much as possible if you want to win this. We will never accept help from someone like you, said Navi. You are the enemy. Not at the moment. Uzumaki Naruto and Nagato Uzumaki. Yes, both Uzumakis. Both having the legendary dojutsu the Rinnegan. What? Two of them? Said the Raikage. That's impossible. I'm afraid it's not. As Navi clenched her fists. While everything was going on right now, she hoped the village was in safe hands, as she left it behind in Jiraiya's hands. That is the reason why he was not here, as she wished she had brought him along now, as the situation was getting dire. Two powerful foes, one of them that took out an army of 2,000 strong, without even battering an eye. Trust me, I was there. He slaughtered them, without gaining a single scratch. Well, you two must have known that, seeing that he came to your village, completely unharmed. Now I pose a question. Do you want my help, or do you want to fail? I, alone, know more about the Rinnegan than all of you combined. I know the inner workings and weakness of the eyes. Snada had an eye on Sasuke as she saw him, but she never acknowledged him. Kakashi also had an eye on Sasuke as well, who was being really quiet and just looking at them. On the outside, Jugo and Suigetsu was there, The masked man told him to stay outside to just watch out for what they did not know. Did he really think that they weren't worthy enough to be a part of the conversation? That was what came to Seketsu's head. Back inside, and what would you have to offer to help us in this regard? Tsuchikage, said Tsunade. Are you really considering this man's offer? Tsuchikage didn't say anything as he turned towards Madara. Calm down, Hokage. I knew you'd be a problem in this. I knew, because you have too much feelings for that boy. Isn't that right? All of them turned towards her. At the moment, Naruto's an enemy. My enemy, just like any one of yours. Well, you have had opportunity to attack him, but you never did. And why is that? Because you let your emotions rule you. Tsunade clenched her face, but she knew if she attacked him, she would just play into that regard. And these fools seem to be gobbling up what he says. That is why I pose. To let me kill the Hokage, Guy, and Kakashi. Move in front of Tsunade a bit more, both of them getting ready. Think about it. Your villages won't have to suffer under the decline, thinking that your finances are falling because Konoha is still the strongest. You will have a chance to be on top, not just the village hidden in the leaves, as it always has been. Once the Hokage is out of the way, you have nothing to worry about, and we can stop this Naruto Uzumaki. Huh. Tsunade laughed. Only an idiot will buy this. And after you kill Naruto, what will you do? He has a tail beast, if I'm not mistaken. That is the reason why you're afraid to go up against him. Smart, said the masked man. That would be the only reason, said Tsunade. You're afraid because he's much too powerful than you now. So you want us to help you with your dirty work, and then you get rid of us and take what you deserve. Not a chance. Well, if we don't work together, all of you would die and your village would be destroyed. Especially Hidden Stone and Kumo. You have nothing to say in this regard, seeing that he's not targeting your village. So what do you say, Raikage, Tsuchikage? Help me kill the Hokage. I even have someone here to do it. Tsunade narrowed her eyes as Sasuke didn't motion though. He didn't gesture or make a move, as Kakashi watched him keenly. And we can end the threat, and your villages won't be targeted at all. The Raikage and Tsuchikage looked towards each other. 4. Raikage-sama said, see, there is boom, an explosion, destroy the wall. Making me feel looked over. That wall was reinforced with solid steel, as it was two bodies that broke through with tremendous force. Jugo and Suigetsu, both of them unconscious. Crimson red armor could be seen at the entrance which he created, with golden eyes surveying the room. Kisame smirked. Now everything was about to get wild, he said, as he pulled Samihata off his back and held it, as Samihata was vibrating with power. Yes, now things are getting excited. But guys, if you any subscribe right here, if once next part, to do, like, subscribe, comment, down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But more for now, see you guys soon. Peace.